Now by Plain English editor Andrew Pegler. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's on your list today?
Well, first cab off the rank would be the pause by the Reserve Bank in the interest rates. Stop right there, they've said, according to Glenn Stevens. The reasons which have been covered are all to do with, Europe looking shakier than Johnny Cash in rehab at the moment. The Chinese looking a little bit jittery. Softness in commodity prices affecting us, and there was also a downturn in building approvals. I think the figure might have been about 15%. All these sort of things add up to them sitting around munching on the biscuits and the tea and deciding that the best thing to do is to keep it on hold for a bit.
And The Age is one of the papers that's had a special look at that. They have,
yes. Yeah, The Age, as most papers would, have covered it all very well. You know, that's good news for home buyers or people with mortgages. I think it's $50 a month for every $300,000 mortgage. Mind you, it doesn't do my plans for a parity party any good. I bought the champagne and the hats, but we're not going to be going ahead with that one.
Well, how long do you reckon it'll stay on hold, Michael?
Well, I think, based on what, reading between the lines, as you often have to do with the RBA statements, possibly for 4 or 5 months. There was even speculation yesterday, increased speculation, that the next move could be down if the Greek debt crisis worsens and there are the prospect of a GFC Mark II. But I think mortgage holders, based on what the Reserve Bank is saying, could be breathing a sigh of relief, possibly until the end of the year.
Certainly July they won't raise it. Yeah, so it's good news.
Now, there's a story in The Australian you're looking at as well today.
Yeah, the Newspoll have got a poll out that essentially seems to be following the UK political model a little bit, in that people are a little tired of the dominant two parties. It would seem that, the thesis being that Bob Brown may be someone they might want to consider in the preferred Prime Minister stakes.
So this is analysis they've done the day after the release of the Newspoll. So they've sort of dug a little further into the figures, have they?
Yes. You know, that's right, yeah. Now, Kevin Rudd's satisfaction rating has hit a new low of 18, but this decline has not been matched by Abbott, who's also dropped by 12%. According to this piece by Peter Van Olsen, both leaders, quote, are drowning, and it's just a matter of who can stand on whose shoulders to gasp for oxygen. He also points out, interestingly, that the Labor Party are now going to go with more of a team strategy because the brand Rudd has been damaged, and they've got the depth of talent at the moment, which the Liberals probably don't have, to put themselves forward as that team.
Well, how willing will Kevin Rudd be to use Julia Gillard, though, given the relative popularity stakes of those two?
Well, Peter Van Olsen does say here that he reckons Rudd will win narrowly and will be rolled by Julia soon after. And, you know, who knows? And he also says that he reckons that Joe Hockey or Malcolm Turnbull will roll Tony Abbott.
It's interesting. It's sort of reassuring in a way, isn't it, about polls that, I mean, even the most independent analysts have said, look, I mean, we've sort of got a bit of a policy vacuum at the moment. You've got not much being achieved or huge backflips by the federal government. Then on the other hand, you know, nothing coming in from the opposition to fill in that gap either. And people have been able to discern that and say, well, forget it.
Yeah, and
if we don't even have a strong argument on one side or the other, we're not giving our imprimatur to either of you.
Yeah, mind you, Tony Abbott is doing what oppositions have done for time immemorial and adopting this small ball strategy, making himself as small a possible target. He will release the policies closer to the election, but I think it's very much a case of a pox on both of your houses.
Yeah. Now, the Sydney Morning Herald, also a paper you're looking at today.
Yeah. Now, I didn't know this, but the CSIRO apparently came up with the mathematical equations that led to the development of wireless internet and what they call Wi-Fi. And this drives, of course, laptops and routers and
we spoke about this on this program. We spoke to the scientist who'd actually come up with that invention. I think, didn't he take out the Prime Minister's Science Award?
He did. He got $300,000 for that.
For that particular invention, yeah.
Look, they stand to make what is regarded as a lazy $1 billion from lucrative patent claims in the US. They've netted already $250 million through Dell and HP and Microsoft and those guys who settled out of court. And now they're going for the big 3 US mobile phone carriers who they say are breaching the patent. But I think it's fantastic. I didn't know Australian CSIRO more or less invented Wi-Fi, which is a great thing.
They did.
Yeah.
Now, the next story that you want to look at, I frankly don't believe. I believe
Virginia.
I believe that it happened, but I reckon the pictures are doctored.
Do you?
Get them up.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
Now this is a sinkhole.
Forget it. It is so photoshopped.
Well, this sinkhole is as a result of the storm called Agatha. And this is in Guatemala City, and it formed in the northern part of the city and has swallowed a space larger than the area of a street intersection. It swallowed 3-storey buildings and a house and a security guard. And sinkholes, for those who don't know, exactly what happens, basically rain or moisture comes along and sort of it percolates upwards. Usually it's a limestone structure.
That's not photoshopped.
No, that's looking pretty real, Virginia.
We didn't see the black bottom. Show me this solid black bottom. Let's get back.
Picture.
Yeah, let's go back to there. You go.
Well, it's 60 metres deep and 30 metres wide.
Get it? No.
Yeah, well, viewer feedback might get us back onto that one. But sinkholes, there we go. I didn't know what they were, and now we do, and that's what they do.
It's been a learning morning for you today, Andrew. Good to see you. Thanks so much.
Good to see you. Thank you.
And now to